where is my G spot and how come none of my exes have been able to find it? Like, where is it on the treasure map? I'm Benson. Welcome to another episode of Too Tired to Be Crazy on every Thursday. The best podcast when it comes to dating and relationships. It's like number one. Check it out. I'm not lying. Anyway, so today I have a special guest on, Emily Morse. I say your last name right? I have a problem with last names.
So do I.
Okay.
I swear to God, if I'm like, I don't know the name. Anyway, yeah.
Emily Morse, you are a sex therapist, an author, a TV personality. I wrote this down. What you're known for, one of your books is called Hot Sex, Over 200 Things You Can Try Tonight.
Yes.
That's so exciting. I'm going to try that with myself. And then I read that you're also a co-host with Dr. Drew on Loveline Radio.
I was on Loveline for the last 4 years. Yeah,
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was awesome.
And you're known for as one of the biggest like sex therapists out there, which is like no surprise then that you have a podcast called Sex with Emily. Yeah. It's on every...
Yeah, I release it 3 times a week. And it was the first I released it I started in 2005. So I have like 5,000 up. I'm doing it for 14 years. And now I release 3 a week, wherever you find it. It's an independent podcast. But iTunes, Google Play, SoundCloud, wherever you listen to podcasts.
3 times a week?
3 times a week. And then I also have a show on Sirius XM 5 nights a week, 5 to 7 p.m. Pacific on Stars 109. People can just call in, ask their dating and relationship advice questions. And I will change your life in 5 minutes or less.
That's pretty cool. Okay, so I literally had so many questions. I've been waiting for this episode. I've been waiting to meet with you. By the way, for those who are only listening to the podcast and you're not watching the YouTube video of this, Emily is very good looking. So
Thank you, honey.
Good for you. You look great.
Thanks.
You're so tiny.
I feel good. Thank you.
I should have worn mascara for you. It's all the sex.
Great. Yeah. I don't know. It's just life, being happy, being satisfied.
I have not been having sex. Is that why I look like this?
No, you look amazing, dude. I was like, really? Come on. If you need mascara, you don't need mascara.
Thank you.
Great.
Okay, so I wrote down so many questions. We're going to try to cover as much as we can on this episode, but obviously you have to come back.
Yes. I'm like, obviously I'm going to stay for 6 hours when you sent me the list, all the questions. I will come back.
Obviously, I also asked my audience and my fans for a lot of questions to ask you. But the funny thing is that a lot of these questions are for me because I'm so curious. But I'm just going to go ahead and pretend it's like from the fans so it doesn't seem weird. But this is my number one question that I just need to get out of the table.
Do it.
Okay. How do you tell a guy to go down on you?
Such a good question. Because they need to. Like, I think it's a requirement for so many women. You say to them, you know what? And here's the thing let me just say this. The sex conversations about what we want to improve or what we desire from our partner happen outside the bedroom. When you're not having sex, when you're chilling, when you're hanging out, having breakfast, having dinner, not in the bedroom. Because if you say it when we're in the bedroom, like I just remember this, it's for sleeping and for sex. But conversations about anything deep, not in the bedroom.
And eating for me.
And eating, right. No, same. I do eat in my bedroom. That is true. And I live alone. And I'm totally fine with it. So you say to them, it's a blanket thing. You're like, you know what? Let's talk about it. So first, I like the compliment sandwich idea. Hey, last night, sex was so hot. I keep thinking about the way we were like making out and like you slowly undressed me or whatever. And that was a pretty good blowjob I gave you. No, but you say it was awesome. And then so that's a compliment. And then you say, but you know what? I like think it would be so hot if you went down on me. It is like my biggest turn on. And I like fantasize about it. And I would come in your mouth or however you want to say it. Then you give the suggestion. And then you close the other side of the sandwich is we're like, yeah. And I think that when we do that, I'll have so many orgasms. I'll feel more connected to you and our sex life will continue to be amazing. So you kind of like throw it in like that because the reason why we have to be so delicate when talking to anybody about sex is because A, no one ever talks about it. And B, when they do, we're like, what did I do wrong? I'm a terrible person. I'm a bad lover. We just have so much insecurities around sex because there's nothing that normalizes it, which is why I'll always have a job because literally every single day I'm talking about these things to people who are like, I'm too scared to ask my wife or my husband. We've been together for 20 years, 10 years. How to like go down on me or what I want in bed. So literally you're just like, even if you want to cut through all the bullshit because you're direct, you could be like, I have been having fantasies about you going down on me. Like, what do you think? Like, I think you'd be so hot.
Okay,
Which
so
one sounds right to you?
No,
like you get to make it your own, but that in that spirit.
I agree with you. I feel like that is the best way, in my opinion. Also, like the approach of that would turn me on so bad because guys want to turn you on.
Right.
So I agree with you that that's a versus being like, how come you never go down on me?
Exactly. The second you say that, they hear nothing that you say after how come you never?
Okay, but okay, another example. What if you just met this person, you guys are hooking up and you want this guy to go down, you're in the middle of hooking up and he's like fingering you, and then how do you make him sound like kind of, you know, because with guys, I feel like sometimes they'll just grab your head.
Well, I've outlawed the head push if anyone listens. I'm like, never push a woman's head. Like, we know you have a penis and we know it's probably hard right now. Like, did you need to push my head down there? If I want to suck your, I will. So but for men, I think there's such inequality, first of all, with oral. Like, all women are just giving out blowjobs for free. They're like, of course I'll give you a blowjob. No, I don't need anything. But when we want oral, like the majority of women, because we do not get off. Do you know this? Most women do not have orgasms through penetration. They get it through clitoral stimulation. They get it through oral. So in the moment, you could be like, so are you saying, like, let's say you're making out and like he starts taking off your pants and then he tries to like start having sex, right? He starts to stick his dick, right? We say anything in here, right? Yeah. Sticks inside you. You could be like, oh my God, I want your mouth on my pussy, or I want you to go down. Or you just kind of be like, you know, it'd be so hot. Like, I'm so turned on. Can you like just point him down there?
Oh, okay, got it.
Just be like, just wait, babe, pull his head back up. I mean, maybe if he's like, not his head, he's not down there yet. So if he's like, because I know what you're saying in the moment. They want to start having sex, perhaps, and you're not even turned on yet. So
or
you're
they
like,
just want head and then sex.
Yeah,
like, how do you?
Which makes no sense. It's like you switch and you're just like, okay, now my turn. You could even say like, oh, babe, not yet. Like, my turn. Like, I want you to go down on me. Like,
just be like, say, I want your mouth on my pussy.
Yeah, I want your mouth on my pussy. I want you go. You could. How about what do they do? Like,
I want your mouth on my clitoris.
On my clitoris. Say, I'm not ready yet, but you know what would make me really ready for sex if you go down on me. Go down.
Okay, like, so you literally just have to say it.
You literally just say it, and then you stop talking. Like, what? Like, yeah, go down. First of all, and I just gave you a blowjob, perhaps. Like, what? It's a quid pro quo. Like, you do it, I do it. Like, and I think this is what I want to change, is that it seems like women, we just give out blowjobs. Like, I have a friend, she's like, Emily, guess what? I finally have a friend with benefits. I'm like, that's amazing. And she's like, yeah, like, it's so cool because we can just hang out and be friends. Like, I went over there, I gave him like 3 blowjobs, then we watched a movie, and then I left. I was like, what did you get? Did you have an orgasm during sex? No. I'm like, okay, that's a friend with a deficit. He's didn't like, get a
he gave me a water to go.
Yeah, maybe. Like, so it's just like, I think you just got to find your, be like, because I've had this situation as well with a guy I dated. This was years ago before I started the show. And I dated him for like a year and he wasn't going down. And I'd mentioned to him, I'm like, can you go down on me? Can we do it? And then one day we were at dinner. I was like, I got a question for you. Is it that A, about oral sex? You're not into oral? B, you're just not sure like what I like, because I'd be happy to point out. Or 3, it's not your thing. He's like, it's just not my thing. I was like, okay, well then you're not my thing. Because to me, like, oral is grounds for dismissal if I don't get it.
My friend, she has this rule, and she says, if I don't come, no one comes. And I respect that rule so much, but personally for me, the reason, a lot of times guys that I've been with who do try to go down me, I just get so embarrassed, uncomfortable with my vagina. So do you have any tips?
Why? I missed your vagina. But
yeah, for no reason. My vagina is great.
Right, sure.
The lady doctor said that I have a nice vagina, but it's still just insecurities in my head. So I get really weirded out with a guy just being down there with his head, just like opening up my flaps and just like licking there. So do you have any advice for girls who feel the same way?
Yeah, so many women feel the same way.
Just and close your eyes.
No, but here's the thing. It's self-confidence, right? So here's the thing. Like, the vagina, the whole branding around the vagina is terrible. Like, if I could rebrand perception, because men are like, oh, it's dirt or whatever. Women get messages like it's wrong, or guys don't really want to be down there, or it has an odor, or it's smelly, or no one. And I just think that that's just totally false advertising for the vagina when women. So that's why women, they've heard so many things like it's not going to be great. But once you learn to, like, honestly, one of the best things you could do for confidence, which I tell women all the time, is like when you're masturbating, and I hope you do, because masturbation is how you get the most confidence, sexually at least, because then you're like, oh, I know what makes myself feel good. Now I know how to tell my partner what feels good. Because guys want to please you. Like, they do. They just literally don't know what to do. And every vagina is different, and every woman wants something different. So once you masturbate, if you take a mirror and you look at it, and I know that sounds crazy, but you're like, you start to touch yourself, and then you realize like, oh, when I'm turned on, like my clitoris starts to swell. And then you're like, oh, that's where all the magic happens. And then you're like, I'm giving myself an orgasm. It's like really hot for women to look in the mirror and look at themselves and during sex. So once you're like, this is my fucking pussy and I love it. And and women can have so many orgasms. We have 8,000 nerve endings in the clitoris. And penis, the circumcised penis only has 4,000. We're like, its only purpose is for pleasure. And so women, like, if you haven't had an orgasm and you haven't looked at it, like, it's time. And then to get over the, like, you know, if you're not confident about it, like always, like everything before you have sex, shower first, go to the bathroom, wipe yourself down, but you're fine. Like, unless you have like an STD, and you probably would know, it is a beautiful space, and men who are into it are going to want to please you. And there's a great book for the guys listening, or women, if you know any men in your life who are sexually active. It's called She Comes First. It's by Ian Kerner, and it was written like 20 years ago. And literally, it's like what your friend's saying. No orgasms unless I come. She should come first. The man's going to come. The studies have come out like 90% of men, 98% will come during sex. For women, it's like 50, 40, like,
Right.
Why are we even going in there? So like, I want women to like take back the orgasm. So how you get the confidence is like listening to him saying, your vagina is fine. It is beautiful. It is yours. They're like snowflakes. Every single one is different. There's zero things wrong. And if there was some asshole who like criticized you for your vagina, like, so glad he's out of your life right now, because that's like one person, one thing. But all this negative stuff, but how about you just sort of like, I'm getting pleasure now. So the thing is, even in the moment, if you're awkward and a guy's down there like, help, what's he doing? Honestly, friggin' breathing, like just being like, okay, like breathing into it and thinking, what am I feeling right now in this moment? Like if I don't pay attention to my thoughts, because that's what takes us out of the moment during sex. And you're like, oh, his tongue's on my clitoris. That actually feels good. And then we just breathe deep into it. Yeah, close your eyes, get comfortable, and stop worrying about what he thinks.
Okay, so what if you finally got the liquid courage or courage in general?
Whatever it takes.
With the guy going down you finally managed to get him to go down you. You're finally feeling confident, and then you're suddenly, what the fuck is he doing down there?
Okay, that happens too. So then you're like, hey, babe, yeah, can you come? You could just be like, kind of pull his head back up maybe. Or you could either pull his head back up or you could guide him. You could be like, oh, like you could literally, if you know, because most guys, you have to understand, most guys don't know how to perform oral. And I've got some great oral tips. That's like this one method that people are like freaking out about. I will tell you that in a second. But literally, like, we need to guide them. How I want oral is different. How you'd want oral is different. How every woman in this room. So you could just be like, oh, can you just go to a little softer, or to the left or to the right? Or like, can you slow down? Just slow down a bit. It feels so good. Just slow down. You know, just kind of like that, like literally guide them.
But continue with the compliment.
Continue with the compliments. That feels so good. Can you just move to the left?
What? No, stop. Oh
Yeah.
my God, you're too fast.
Yeah, because that'll just freak them out. They're already freaked out because they're already like, am I doing it right? Like, oh my God, I'm here and it's like this thing. And where is the clitoris? And we don't have sex education in America at all, or anywhere except for the Netherlands. Zero sex ed. Like, and if we have it, here's sex ed. You're going to get pregnant, so be careful. It's all fear-based. You're going to get pregnant, so you should wear a condom, or you should abstain. Or just wear a condom, because then you'll probably get an STD if you don't. And like, bye, have a nice life. And that's what parents do too. They don't talk about masturbation, pleasure, any of this. It's just, which is why, you know, I've been doing this for a long, every day I'm talking to people all ages who are just like, I don't know what I'm doing. So all your questions are like spot on. We don't know.
I do secretly, to be honest, if the guys I've dated, a few of them in the past, I feel like I have not even tried anymore to have them go down me, because I feel like they would probably be terrible. So then I just pull out a vibrator instead and we use that. But I do secretly wish they would just go down on me instead.
Well, right. So
because it's different feelings and sensations.
Absolutely.
A vibrator in a mouth.
Yeah, it's so different. So I think that part of it is like, and then they're probably feeling, and it depends on the guy. Like, hopefully men are cool with vibrators. If you're not, like, it's not going to replace you. It's doesn't take you to the farmer's market. It can't cuddle. Like, everyone's like, but I feel like just saying to him, oh my God, just go down. It would feel, I love oral sex. Or how about, here's the best sex conversations are had at dinner when you're hanging out. Like, what do you like in bed? Tell me what you're into. I'm into oral. Giving and receiving, like legit.
Hey, what's your name? So I love oral. What are you ordering?
Yeah, right. I mean, some guy you're about to sleep with, or that you know. Or on the first date, shit. I'm like, people wait way too long to talk about what they want in bed. And then you like think we have to like, there's like a requisite, like, let me suffer for 6 months to a year or 10 years and having bad sex. But if you can be like, I've been having sex with this guy for a few months or a month and he hasn't gone down to me, you can be at dinner and be like, let's talk about like what you're into sexually. I want to become a better lover for you. You want to become a good lover for me. Like, what are you into?
I would love to make a guy make me come, and it's not just coming from my vibrator, honestly.
Yeah,
I feel like now as we're talking about this in my head, I'm like, have I even been having good sex? Because I don't know.
Right. That's why I started my show. I was like, I don't think I've had the best sex in my life yet. So I'm going to figure out how to, because I didn't know how to. No, like literally nobody does. So it's good that you're realizing this, because then you can change it. And it's not as hard as you think once you start talking about it. Look what you do. You make everything else happen in your life, right? Like you can make great sex happen too. We all can. We just don't have the information, and we have so much shame and embarrassment and insecurities that we just never bring it up, and we expect our partner to be mind readers. Like, doesn't he know I want oral? Well, he doesn't. And at his age, or how many people he's been with, like, doesn't even matter for age, honestly. Some guys just don't know. They don't know how. So I think starting to talk about it in a way that's not like judging and shaming them.
Okay, so now that he went down on me and he made me come a few times, he's super good at it because I helped him out. Now it's his turn. And I feel like I have a really good technique when it comes to blowjobs because I've done research on it, and also my own personal research has helped me give good head.
Okay.
But I was wondering if you had any tricks or techniques when it came to giving head.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. And then we have to go back. Well, okay.
What?
The tip for men to go down on women better, just because
Did I
it's called
forget?
the Kivin method. No,
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying that people are going to like, I'm like, there is one way, because you're going to want to listen to this again and play it for the next guy you date. It's called the Kivin method of oral. It's for a guy going down on a woman. And here's a great tip for you. The next guy, you could just send him this post from my website.
Okay.
Sexwithemily.com. You're lying down. Oh, we have video. Okay, but if you're not, like, you're lying down, right? And he is lying perpendicular to your body, meaning he's like across you, right? And his mouth's like going inside. So his legs are like here, right? And he hits your clitoris. And instead of coming like, most guys are sitting between your legs, right? When they're going down on you. So you're lying down. Here's your clitoris in the middle. He's licking his tongue, but he's going back, and like he's literally going over. He's hitting all the clitoral nerves because he's going from the labia to the clitoris to the other labia. Like he's going that way, like not up and down, but back and forth. And he's licking it back and forth lightly. And what that does is you're hitting all the clitoral nerve endings instead of going up and down. I can get into more description on my site, or listen to I talk about it all the time, but I literally talked about it like 3 months ago on my show. Here's how I know. And I knew it worked, but I was like, oh, I've never in my life gotten so many calls and so many emails, hundreds. They're like, thank you. My wife had the orgasm for the first time, blah, blah, blah. It's like this foolproof method.
I'm literally imagining this in my head, and I feel like you're completely right. That's why, like, sometimes if they're fingering you and they put the finger, they go like
back and forth
with the finger. So it makes sense.
All the nerve
they would do that also with the tongue.
Right.
That's so hot. Now I wish I didn't dump the guy I was talking to because I want him to try that on me.
Well, you could say, here's one more thing. I'll give you one more chance.
Never speak to me again. Hey, P.S. Do you want to go down on me? Like, I have a really good method.
Exactly. Right. It'd be good for both of us. But here's the thing though, let me just say this, is that most couples aren't great talking about it, which is why like they'll listen to my podcast together, or they'll do research because you literally don't know. So people listen to it and they're like, hey babe, Emily said to do this Kivin method. Like that's how you learn. You could be like, check out this post, you know?
When it comes to blowjobs, I feel like I'm good at it because I don't neglect the balls. And I feel like a lot of girls do. And, so like you're giving head, you're like, if you're like sucking on the balls, you're giving a hand job, then you go back to the quote unquote shaft.
Right.
Or whatever. No, the shaft is the balls.
The shaft.
Right?
No, the shaft, the balls are the balls. The balls,
okay,
but the shaft is the penis. The shaft is the penis up and down. And then there's a tip.
Yeah.
So,
like
the tip. Yeah,
like
that's
you're popping on the tip
exactly.
as you're giving a hand job, and then also like touching the balls. So I feel like I'm good at it, but
I can give you a few. I mean, those are all good things. Not every guy likes his balls touched. Many do.
Really?
Yeah, but not every single one. But they'll tell you if they don't.
I've never met one.
Yeah. I mean, the majority do. It's just like some women don't like oral sex because their clitoris is too sensitive. And typically the women who don't actually like truly don't like it, not because they're like worried about what the guy thinks, is because they have a very sensitive clitoris and they actually can orgasm during intercourse a ton, but they can't during oral. Okay, so for men, I mean, definitely like hand on the balls. Sometimes like I had periods of years where I like forgot about the balls because some guy touched them wrong and he was upset, and And I was like, I had like post-traumatic ball disorder. I was like, I can't touch the balls again. But then I did. So yes, gripping the balls is great. The penis, here's the shaft. So here's a trick. Here's the tip. Underneath where the tip of the penis meets where the head of the penis, the tip meets the shaft, the underside, there's this area called the frenulum. Okay, so here's the guy on his penis. And this magic spot, it's like a little circular spot, is like, think of it as like your new best friend.
Wait, that spot is on his side or my side?
It's on his head. It's on his side. So his penis, it's the underside of his penis. It's the underside where the tip, so here's his tip. Like, so here's the tip. This is the tip. It's right here. Okay. His balls are here. No. His penis, he's erect. He's peeing right now or something. That's the tip. That's the part.
Okay.
So your tongue, when you're already going around the tip, you could just like with your tongue, kind of like lick in circles around it.
Nice.
So that's an important part, the frenulum. And you'll realize that a lot of guys, when they touch themselves, like they masturbate, like they'll rub their thumb on it and stuff.
I honestly never realized that. Yeah. That's crazy.
Guys don't even realize that what it's called. I know. See, this is so fun. So that part is sensitive to a lot of guys. You definitely, like, the wetter the better. And I think using lube, like a flavored lube, or if you produce enough of saliva, that's cool. But you want it to be super wet and you want to have enough friction, right? So your hand, like, you can use your hand and just your tip going up and down. But I think that the most important thing is like the wetness, making sure you have enough friction. But it's kind of like this, like you don't want to be too loose and you don't want to be too tight. It's more like a grip.
Right.
And you're like it's a grip and you're going up and down. You can use both hands.
Eye contact.
So the third thing is enthusiasm. Into it. You're fucking into it. And I'm telling you, even if you fucking fake it till you make it, you're like looking in their eyes, you're making noises, like slurp, I mean, all that stuff. And that will help you get into it. But guys want to know, just like we do, that a guy's into it. Like, here's what the other thing about oral. I tell women this all the time. If you're giving a blowjob, like, be into enthusiasm. So like the wetness, the technique, and then enthusiasm. But for men, it's the same thing. Like, I would love it if a guy's like, God, your pussy's so hot, tastes so good. Like, I could be here all night. Like, my best tip for a man, if you want to make a woman feel comfortable, is like, babe, lay down. I want to go down on you all night. I'm not going anywhere. We have all night. You'd be like, yeah, I'm chill. I'm in. But otherwise, we're in our head. We're looking at the clock. He's been going down for 12 minutes. Oh my God, and you're like, shit. So.
Okay, so when it comes to head, I've noticed that guys like love it if you quote unquote choke on it. And I'm so confused by that. It's like, what do you want me to do? Porn. Do you want me to actually choke on it and die?
Do you want me to die here on your cock?
Like, I'm so confused. Do you want me to die? Like, I don't want to fucking choke on. I don't want to throw up on it on accident. So, what's up with that? Is it just from porn?
It's from porn. So, porn in the last 10 years, when it's been more readily available, the whole like cock, like choking, deep throating thing, it could feel good for many a man, but I don't think that women need to subject themselves to it unless they get off on it as well.
Yeah, like I watched this one porno where the girl's giving head and she's like full on choking on it to the point that there's like so much saliva coming out and she's like and then like, and I'm like who's watching this?
Is she right? Should we calling 911?
It was just so gross. So much spit was coming out of her mouth and she looked like she was gonna die.
Right.
So,
and you realize that porn is not real. It's made for men by men. They're writing the porn and then they're saying, it would be hot, because men are so obsessed with their penises, like in the way of like, my penis is all you need. And if she's choking on it, well, that's even better. And we're like, ew. Like, I don't think none of those women are turned on, nor are they really having orgasms. And I'm not bashing porn entirely. I'm just saying that women that are now thinking they've got to choke on it. And you do not. You can provide the same sensation with your hand and your mouth. Enough friction. It's fine. Go up and down. Use lots of lube. You could swoop down, swoop back up, but you don't fucking need to choke.
Can you become a deep throater if you do have sensation in your throat? Is there like techniques for that? Except I have seen some sex toys where you can spray in your mouth supposedly to numb it. Also cocaine.
Cocaine numbs everything for sure. Yeah.
So I've heard.
You're Coke, you don't get right. Exactly. Friends asking for a friend. I think, there is some I have this thing called blowjob spray, or it's called Doc Johnson Wet Head. And it's by Doc
Johnson.
I have it too. Do you? Do they send it to you? They're awesome. Yeah. But they're like spraying your mouth. And that just makes it taste better. I love flavored lubes. Like Muse makes a great lube that's like salted caramel and chocolate. And you're like, oh, I will suck on this all day. But yeah, if you you can work on your gag reflex. There's a way to do it where you're just like, I just don't love this because it's like,
I
Are
just
you doing
like
it just for a guy?
I choke on medicine sometimes.
No,
I'm
you
like,
don't.
how am I
Then you know what?
Okay, cool.
I have something on my site. If you want to learn about gag reflex, go there. But we don't have to get into it because I don't want to perpetuate it because I don't think it's actually what men are like thinking they need it, and women could give pleasure in ways that feel good to them.
Okay, so moving on from the gag reflex, then another question I have when it comes to head, because with my partner that I like, I do love giving head because it does turn me on to turn him on, and obviously vice versa. One thing I'm wondering is, how do I become a swallower? Because I genuinely want to become that. I feel like right now I usually like I give head and I go straight to sex because when I was younger with one of my boyfriends, I feel like I was traumatized. He was always on a really bad diet, and one day I really wanted to swallow. You know, I want to just try it out because I'm a really
pleaser. Want to do it or no?
Yeah, especially if I'm with someone. Like I want to make them happy and I want to be a great wife. Any husbands out there that are listening? I mean, not if you're not married right now, then I'm into it. You know,
future husbands call
me up. So anyway, I was giving him head. He's about to come. He thinks I'm going to move my mouth and like let him come on my tits or something. But instead, I want to swallow, and even he was surprised. I tried to swallow it. Not only does he have an insane amount of fucking load that just keeps coming in my mouth, and we're both shocked that it just won't stop. I tried to swallow some of it, but it literally tastes so bad that as I stand up, I have to rush out of the room because I start throwing up because it was so disgusting. And after I threw up from it, I feel like it traumatized me so bad.
That's exactly it.
I haven't been able to try. I'm like so scared now.
Was that the first time you ever swallowed?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So this makes so much sense. A lot of us have sexual traumas, all different ways. And like I've heard, this is a very common story.
Yeah.
It was the first time. You didn't know what to expect. You'd probably heard that it was going to be gross or lumpy or not great anyway. And then you were like, the fear around it made you gag and throw up.
It's already in your head. You're like mortified.
So you're like, so of course I'm going to throw. And at this day, if we had like a camera that could go back to your younger self that was doing it, it probably wouldn't have been that much, but it was your first time.
It felt like a lot.
Right. I mean, maybe it was. I mean, okay. So it was probably, but what I'm saying is how you could learn is like baby steps. So one of the ways is to like, kind of just like have it come out a little bit and like lick around it, right? When it first comes out, like if he comes, you could just like take some in and then move away. The other thing is you could use a flavored lube that's already in your mouth. Like there is some flavored lubes that I'm telling you, this brand Muse, they're just, I don't know if they're out yet. They just sent me some, but it's like gelato flavor. What's the other one? It's like, it's a mint chocolate chip, gelato, vanilla, creme brulee. Point is, if you are tasting that, the semen won't be as disruptive in your mouth. The other thing I have heard, I haven't tried it, is if you put the tongue at the roof of your mouth back, you won't taste it.
Wait, after they came in your mouth or while they're coming? Because wouldn't it just come out of your mouth?
They're coming in your mouth. They're coming in your mouth, and then you're
inside your mouth.
I know the penis is inside your mouth, and then they're coming, and then before you swallow, like they come, you pull back. Swallow.
I heard that also if you try quote unquote to deep throat, so then it just goes straight into your throat.
No, that's even worse for you especially.
Oh, because
yes, no deep. I'm so glad I'm here, Violet.
Okay, and
I wanted to change your whole everyone who's ever.
No, I'm dying. It's actually funny. Like I want to do that, but because I'm so traumatized, I never finished giving head now.
Yeah, you're like
I'm too scared.
Like swallowing is done right, but you can get back into it.
One of my friends said that she fake swallows where it looks like it's in her mouth, and then she's like she rushes, she pretends like she has to go pee, and then she spits.
Yeah, people do that too. People spit. I mean, I just think you could do that. You could just get it in your mouth and spit.
Spit on his face.
There's actually exactly. You could spit or swallow. That's always a thing. I think that it's been so long since that happened to you. You could try one of those things. So maybe you swallow a little. You even let your partner know, like, I want to try it again for you. Be cool. Like, here's the thing about sex.
I don't talk to that guy anymore. He's gross.
Okay. Well, the new guy then. Whoever. I think with sex, we think that we have to figure all this out on our own. But if you were real with them, you're like, listen, I had a bad experience once. I want to try with you. Would you mind? And they're like, sure, I'll be your guinea pig for learning to swallow.
Would you let me suck your dick?
He'll be like,
thanks.
Yeah, sign me up. And then you're real. And he's not like, why'd you move away? And you don't have to worry about that because then you're in it together. I think we make ourselves so separate during sex. We're like, I have to figure out how to be a good lover to him. And he's figuring that out. But if we're just like, hey, this is what I want to work on or what I don't know. And like, let's talk about sex is my main thing is communication is a lubrication. So the more we talk about sex with our partners, with our friends, the less intimidating and scary it becomes.
Okay, so it's like maybe after he knows that I can swallow a little, then pull back away, comes on my tits, and then still make it sexy by like
still make
rubbing
it
on my nipple.
Exactly. And maybe you rub it on your nipple, and then you like take. You know what else is hot? If you just want him to come on your chest, and then you're like take it and you eat like a little bit of it.
But a quick disclaimer to any men out there that are listening to my podcast, if there's any, I just want you to know right now that we say that cum on our bodies is hot, but no one actually wants like cum in their hair and in our body. Like it dries up and it's gross. We're only doing it for you, to be honest. No, guys, I think also guys think like, oh, where do you want me to come? It's like, I don't give a fuck. Just come anywhere. Like I don't even enjoy it.
In the trash can? Yeah. In the toilet? Please, can you get up? Right. I mean, the thing is, I don't, as long as there's baby wipes, here's my like one of my best sex accoutrement advice, like a sex accessory. Have freaking baby wipes by the bed. Wipe that off. Get it off right away. Like if it's not your thing.
Or a crusty towel.
Crusty towel. Not there. Yeah, we don't want that. Can we at least have a fresh towel? Can we please not have your masturbation sock to clean the cum off my face? So yeah, I think not in the hair.
Can you be allergic to semen?
Yes.
Semen.
You actually can. Women, I actually had a woman call in the show last night and she's like married to her husband for 10 years. And then she's like, I don't know what to do because they were using birth control or they were using condoms for a while, whatever. She's like, has this itchiness. And yeah.
Oh, in her vagina?
Yeah. After he comes inside of her.
Oh, I meant
you meant like if you ingest it.
You can be allergic to semen in your vagina?
Yeah. Yeah. It's rare, but it can happen.
Oh, I meant like swallowing, if that's an excuse.
I haven't heard. Wait, hey. Yeah, I don't see why not. If people are getting all allergic when, it's going inside of them.
Somebody asked me if the best way to get your way is right before the guy comes.
No, what are you going to ask him to like take you to Europe or something? Babe, Paris this summer. Don't come.
I'm going to come. Marry me. Okay, sure.
No. Okay, so this is so good, these questions, because no, you guys, like I said, do not talk about anything in the bedroom. Like nothing. Like literally, unless it's just like, I love you too. Oh my God, I'm excited for our trip. But like a serious conversation about your relationship, about your sex life in the bedroom, which I know we think we should because we're there, but when you're like post-coital or pre-turned on, if you talk about something and our brains are in the arousal state, it can just like come off wrong or different. They won't take it in right.
No, I agree. I think it's like, it's funny, but then you also want to try it. Yeah, it's like, or I heard like when you're giving head and he's enjoying it so much and you look up at him and you're like, babe, can I have a Gucci bag? Right. Never. This has never, all I've ever gotten from guys has been a UTI or yeast infection. Never been like a Gucci bag.
Never freaking Gucci bag, right?
So I'm doing something wrong. But, okay, so my question is, if now you've given good head and with your partner and also he's gone down, he's giving you orgasms. Now we're moving into the section of not just one, I want to get multiple orgasms. One thing that I've had an issue with, and I am wondering now if it's other people have experienced this, right after I come from my clitoris, it feels really sensitive.
Yeah.
Especially because usually during sex I've used vibrators.
Right.
So it's like we're fucking or whatever, and then right away, because my ex-boyfriend would watch so much porn, he'll be like, okay, I want you to come again. And it's like, it's so painful and sensitive for me. I don't know. Is it normal? Are other women experiencing pain? Do you have to wait?
Is it pain or is it sensitive?
It's very sensitive, like right on, that clitoris, that little area.
Yeah, that's very common that women
I just need like a few seconds.
We need a few seconds. Yeah, so my best advice for having multiple orgasms, and again, you guys, there's nothing wrong with you. We are not taught this. So we assume it's painful after, or it hurts, it's sensitive, I'm done, I'm out. But I've taught a lot of women how to have multiple orgasms. So it's like, I think like every woman in my office who's ever worked for me is like, I can't have one. I'm like, just wait. And then they're like, oh yeah. So it's like, you really, it is totally possible. So it's like you breathe after. You're just like, okay, you kind of breathe and you stop. Because it's like you don't want to be touched right after, but maybe your partner can start to like make out with you again, kiss your neck, kiss your nipples, like caress your thighs, or like get like just still kind of touch around it. Because what we don't realize is that the clitoris isn't just that little nub. The 8,000 nerve endings, actually, the clitoris has legs, right? There's legs to it. And the legs go like, okay, so here's the vagina. Here's the clitoris, right? Here's the labia.
Nice.
Behind the labia are the clitoral legs internally.
Whoa.
So the labia, and there's even internal clitoral nerves, which like people talk about the G-spot, like it's all kind of related. So if after you have a clitoral, or I didn't know any of this. So the secret of the labia is, what if he strokes your labia afterwards till you come back and you breathe? Maybe he puts a little finger inside you. Maybe he does a little come hither motion towards your G-spot, because it's easier for women to have, we actually are built to have more orgasms. We have just like this pleasure center that's like, just like, but we don't get the instructions. So right after you have one, and you could practice this with your vibrator on your own too. You just kind of like take it away for a minute.
I've had multiple orgasms with myself.
Oh, right.
What's up?
Right, exactly. No, right. With the guy, you just be like, tell him, show him, be like, just for a second, give me, and then you breathe, and then he starts to turn you on again. And then you'll realize that, like, if he goes back up there again with his mouth or the vibe, you'll be able to come again.
Because I tried to like watch porn to instruct me how to have multiple orgasms, but the porn that I tried to watch was the one where a woman gets tied down and then the guy just keeps putting the vibrator on her vagina till it gets super, super red. And then she's like screaming, no, 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 but then she still comes. And I was like, oh, you have to get through the pain to get to the next orgasm?
No. Oh my God.
I watched the wrong porn.
I'm so glad you're asking me this. You're helping like millions of people right now. No, because porn is how we're getting educated now. Either you go to school and they scare the shit out of you for STDs and pregnancy, and then you're like, porn, I have to deep throat and be tied down and gagged to have multiple orgasms. So not true. It's just about, men who are more, your partners who are more mindful, and you understanding, be able to direct them. So it's a much gentler, like our clitoris isn't, we don't want to be pounded away at. Most of the touch we want is more like gentle and soft. And I haven't even talked about lube yet, but like literally, lube has a huge stigma. And lube, you should use lube every time you masturbate, every time you have sex, even if you're wet. And
I get so wet though.
Doesn't matter. Your clitoris doesn't get wet. So on your own, when you're using your toy, use a few drops of lube. And then for that next orgasm, because here's the thing, our wetness level, this is going to blow your mind, our wetness level is not an indicator of us being turned on, of arousal. In fact, yes, it can be. We could be turned on and wet, but we could also be really turned on and not wet. Or we're wet at the beginning, but he's pounding away so much, we get dry. So the thing about lube, it's kind of like wearing sunblock, like just to be safe, and it feels amazing. And I've been talking about lube for 14 years, and I've literally everyone is like, literally one of the things they thank me for is like, thank you for lube. In my dream, I bought you a beautiful bottle of this, I think Uber Lube. Put it on your nightstand. It's like this beautiful glass bottle. Oh, and I bought you
I was like, this is a vibrator.
Yeah, I bought you a vibrator and a bottle.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. So it's on your nightstand, and it's silicone lube. It's a glass bottle, and it's like few drops, even when you masturbate. And I'm telling you, like the Kinsey Institute, right? Like Alfred Kinsey, sex. When they did a study with women, when they used lube, 80% of women were more likely to orgasm. So the reason why we don't see a lube on every nightstand, which is my friggin' dream, take the stigma away, is because like guys are like, oh, I didn't turn her on enough, or she wasn't wet, it's my fault. So therefore, like women feel bad, like, oh, I don't need any lube. But it's like, it just helps. It's an aid, a few drops.
That's
crazy.
It's
going to change. That will help you have another orgasm.
Thought I was like too wet, and sometimes it got to the point where for some reason, I think because one of my ex-boyfriends were much younger, he'd get annoyed by how wet I would get, so it started to make me feel embarrassed. So I would always have to wipe myself really fast. But now when I'm older, I guess guys
it's
do
less
like
so,
it.
yeah.
No, it's still a lot, but
right.
Guys like it now. But that's why I just never thought I would need to use lube, because I'm like, I don't want it to be just like a slip and slide.
Right. Well, it's a need. It's not a need thing. It's more like even before he touches you. So when a guy will start to touch you down there, instead of his saliva, which isn't like, make sure he washes his hands, you pump a few drops of that, and it's like he starts to touch you. It mimics your natural lubrication. It only has one ingredient in it, and it just feels amazing. And it's not like it's gushing. It's just like it's like how you put moisturizer on in the morning. It's like that. It's like a little lube. And then also if you use condoms, you put over his condom on you. It's just
and you can put lube on his penis too.
Yeah. Oh my God. Before you have sex, because it's like sometimes we're not turned on yet, right? It's dry. Like I am like literally like I will not have any sex without lube. Like it's on there, a few drops. I put it on his penis, rub a few drops on my clitoris, and then we're good.
Really?
Yes.
Even if you're wet?
Even if I'm wet.
Because it helps.
It helps because because even if I'm wet, you don't stay wet all the time, and it's a different wetness. This is like a consistency of like I don't know how to explain it. Like it doesn't, I mean, I've tried, it's like it doesn't stay, you know what I mean? Like sometimes you're wet, but you don't stay wet and you get dry after a while. This just is like literally lubing you up so you have enough for the whole time, but it's not like you're not pouring a vat in it. It's like literally 3 drops that's really silicone lube. It stays inside of you and you're just all smooth. And like we were joking about this in the office because I was like, guys like protest lube and women are like, yeah, I don't need it. But it's like this every guy, and we all agree because I have a lot of women who work for me. We're like, all it takes is you putting a few drops on a guy's penis and rubbing, and he'll be like, oh, what is that? Literally that happens. He's like, oh my God. Okay. Can we get that lube? Like guys like steal lube from me.
But recently, not recently, last year I was dating this one guy and I brought some sex toys with me to just make things fun. And I don't know if like the lube that I brought was expired. I think it may have been by accident, but it was basically this thing that you put on your lips and it starts to tingle. So it can, when you're giving head and vice versa. So I put it on first and I think he put some on him too or whatever, but I put on my lips and then I ended up getting an allergic reaction. So my lips started to swell up really bad and it got like
you gotta be careful.
Really bad. So
oh my God,
like,
no,
again,
that
I'm
shit
traumatized
happens.
from that. But it was funny.
No, see, you know what's so good is that you are so aware of all these little things that have happened to you. These little we call them like micro traumas or like micro injuries that have happened to you, like emotionally too, with the guys that you have all these beliefs like I'm too wet, and we all have them. But now that you know them, you realize where they came from. And like, yeah, you have to use really, like I'm giving you like a really quality, you can't buy it at the drugstore, like $20, $18, whatever it is, bottle of lube, but it'll last you and it's worth it. It's good ingredients. You know what I'm saying? Like there's other ones I love, Pure, PJUR. There's another one, which, I mean, if you're my office is right over there. It's called Woo More Play, and it's like a coconut oil. It's like a massage coconut. You feel amazing, and it's just like slippery, and it's great lube. But it probably was expired if it was a gimmicky lip thing. So try it first during masturbation.
Yeah, actually, no, I'm 100%
Test it all out
to try it because I feel like I get different types of orgasms with men or with myself. Like sometimes it's really good, sometimes it's average. So do men also, like, you know, when men come, you just think they're coming, but do men also have different levels of orgasms?
That's such a great question. I mean, I think that, yeah, they absolutely do. I mean, I think, but it's not as varied as women because we have like internal, external, like we have different kinds of nerve endings. But I think for men, like it's like pizza. Like every pizza's good. Like there's just a bad pizza. Like I came, it was fine. But yeah, there's definitely like maybe that you were teasing for a while and like it took him a while to come. And like when he finally comes, it's great. Or you haven't seen each other in a while and like emotions are all riled up. So yeah, but I don't think there's as many great, but I also don't have a penis. But I feel like with men, it's pretty much like, although it varies from like if they're having like penetrative sex with someone, like for men, it's different. For example, if they're getting a blowjob, if they're having oral, or if they're doing it to themselves, those are all different orgasms. But I think, yeah, I don't think it's as much of an extreme range as it is for women, but it's
good to know. Okay. So does size matter?
No. It matters. Okay.
All the guys with the small dicks right now listen to this episode.
Let me tell you something.
Fuck yeah, I knew it.
I forget exactly, dude. Men are way more obsessed with
calling
their
their ex-girlfriends. Hey, babe, my dick size doesn't matter. We can get back together.
Yeah, exactly. She's like, to me, it does because they're size queens. Just like there's guys who like chicks with like large breasts. Like they wouldn't date me, right? They would date you. Exactly, and that's fine, right? No, but I just don't. So it's like. It's kind of like that until they get what? No,
I'm kidding.
I know. I get your jam. No, but the men. So here's my thing about men and their penis obsession. Literally, they all think that like that's all that matters. The average penis size is 5.1 inches. Okay, that's freaking average. But most men think it's 7 inches or 8, and only 15% of men have a 7-inch penis. First of all,
what?
Yeah, 15%.
What?
15. Yes.
In the world?
In the world.
Or in America?
I think it's in the world.
I did research and I found out that the place where men have the largest penis than any other place is Congo.
Yeah, exactly. I've heard that too. Fuck yeah, go to Congo. If you're a size queen, then go there. But
I'm not
like,
a size queen. I don't think size matters.
I meant one. It doesn't, right? Like, and also most women aren't orgasming through penetration anyway. So it's really like get down, become a student of female pleasure and you will never have problems in the bedroom again. Meaning women get turned on so differently than men. Like we want to hear, we want to talk first. We want to connect. We want you to slow down and kiss our necks and kiss our, like do everything slower. Tease us first before you just stick it in dry. Like it's just, I think that there's just this whole thing. So they just easily obsess on their penis. But as much as they could, if they could take all the time they're focusing on the penis and like turn that towards how can I be a great lover? Like we wouldn't have this problem.
Yeah, I agree. I think I did some research and I read like if a man does feel like he's lacking down there, there's other ways to satisfy the woman, whether it's using like vibrators that's for him and her, or like also pleasuring her more. Because it really is true. Most girls, like they'll marry a guy with a small dick. They don't actually care.
Yeah. Exactly.
I also don't care. But for me, like I love girth. But I mean,
yeah. Well, most women, if you like hold them against the wall, they're like, you must choose like length or girth. Most women choose girth.
But I also choose like, love. Someone making me feel
someone
good.
Who's actually cool and nice to you and doesn't make you deep throat him until you die.
Even on his birthday. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, even on the birthday head. Not gonna do it. Not gonna do choke and die. Not in your cock.
Wait, I have 2 questions, but I don't know which one. Okay, jumping away from the penis really quick. When it comes to the sex, is there a way to perfect your O face? Because again, I was watching some porn, and this one porn I was watching, this one girl, her orgasm face was so intense and so bad. It looked like she was like crying or something was happening to her. And I couldn't even concentrate because I just started laughing because she was just like, ah! And I was like, oh my God, do guys like that or is it the opposite? So is there a way to perfect it? Do you
No,
practice,
I don't even think about it. Your O face is just your natural O face. Then I have to tell you, I have another porn site that you should look at. It's porn that is made for women by women. It's Erica Lust. It's hot.
I go on UJizz.
What's that? UJizz?
Dope, yeah.
Oh, okay. Is it women? No? For women? Okay. Listen. No, I want you to stop watching porn more than I want men to, because I'm like the O face. No, like the sexiest O face is a woman who's truly in her pleasure, not thinking about her O face.
No, I agree. The porn I do usually like is women on women porn, where the woman's like getting an orgasm.
Lust. I'm telling you, LUST. I've done a podcast with her. She's the best. I mean, she's really like, and it's hot. It's not just like it has a plot. Like it's the stuff that we like. It's not like it's all just like women, but it's like all women of all different like body types and stuff. But it's not like it's actually, besides that, it's more like that is hot. Like the woman who goes away on a trip with her friends, but then she meets a ski instructor, or she hooks up with a chick she met at a bar, and then they bring out their toys and use them on each other. Or like, it's very real, but it's just hotter. It's better. And you have to realize it. There is zero porn probably that you're watching that a woman planned it, wrote it, thought about it, and nobody on that set is coming for real, is attracted to the person they're with, and they're doing what other people are doing porn. So now porn's created this whole like fake way of, it's like air guitar, like some kind of like those things you go to, like, it's not even how you play guitar anymore. Like that's what porn is. It's like fucked up sex in that way.
Yeah. Anyway, so you're saying that you shouldn't be embarrassed by your O face.
Don't be embarrassed by no.
No one's gonna remember. Your lover's not gonna remember it after you guys finish having sex.
I've never. You know what? To be honest, like I haven't thought about that. I know women think about it, especially if I don't know. I know your lover. Listen, your husband, your future, whoever. He's gonna friggin' love every part of you, and all he's gonna be thinking is when you're coming is like, "Fuck yes, I made her come." Or she's having, I love this woman so much and I want her to have so much pleasure and I love that she's having pleasure.
Yeah.
If you're with a guy who's like, love everything about her, but that O face, man, I'm out. You fucking run for your life. That's not your guy.
Yeah, that is weird.
Right?
I agree. He's like, if she was a man though and she had that O face, I would love it.
Exactly.
That's why.
Like, exactly. Well, whatever it is. And guys are judgy just like women are. But I'm just like, to me, if a guy says something like negative or it happens, I'm like, out. Like I don't have the constitution for that. I don't want to pretend I'm something I'm not.
I guess in the end of the day, when it comes, I feel like in the bedroom, the more I think about it and do research, I think there's all these problems. Oh my God, do I look weird or whatever? And it's in the end of the day, they're just happy to be involved.
Listen, if a guy gets into a bedroom with you, he's not thinking like, oh, her left boob's bigger than her right boob. Like, why didn't she shave only half there's a weird hair. No, he's like, I'm getting laid with this woman that I find so fucking hot. That's what he's thinking.
Yeah.
So the rare outlier dude who's like, oh, I thought I was into her, but then I got her naked and she wasn't hot. Like, and if he tells you that, like, thank God he's not your guy. Like, there's plenty of men out there who are just happy to be with you. And then the more confident you are, like truly confident. And like the sexiest thing in the world in the bedroom is someone who like is into their body.
That is true.
That they want.
I agree, and I read this a lot, is that when you feel super sexy, it doesn't matter if you feel like you're a little heavy or whatever. If you act super sexy, the guy will look at you like you're the sexiest thing in the world.
It's true. It's the way you move, the way you walk. I mean, you say to him like, listen, the guy, when you were asking him how to get oral and you like lean back and you like point, you like put your leg up and you're like, this is what I want. Like,
yeah, you look good.
Thanks, baby. You're like, hey, like, how could he not want to go down on you in that moment?
I want to go down me. How can you not want to go down me?
Exactly. So it's even like asking for it. It's hot because we think that men, here's the other thing, and this is not bashing men at all, but I think that we give men a lot of credit. Like, oh, they know what they're doing. Like, I used to believe someday my prince will come and so will I. Like, he's going to show up on a horse and I'm going to come because he knows all about my body. But I realize now, like, they don't know. Like, and every woman's different. So the more we can direct them in a confident way, or even just like fake it, like this is what I like, it's freaking hot and it's a relief to them.
Can you orgasm as a woman without being penetrated? Because I was watching some YouTube video of this guy that he just like touches the women. I forgot the name, what it's called, but he touches the woman's stomach and he like moves
Pelvic floor.
And he like heals her and says all these things, and the women are just like, oh,
energy.
And I'm like, what is happening?
Yeah, you can have, women can think themselves
He's like
off.
Swedish or something.
Yeah, women can, like, I saw like an Indian, I know a guy who does that. Like, there are a lot of different paths, like tantric sex and breathing your way to orgasm. I had a woman on my show a few months ago. She like full on breathes her way to orgasm. It's Barbara Corrales. It's called Urban Tantra. It's a great book she wrote. I mean, yeah, women can have orgasms like barely touching themselves. And definitely most women, only 18% orgasm through penetration. Like only 8 of all those scenes in movies, they fall on the bed, they're having like amazing. It doesn't happen that way. Most women need clitoral stimulation. We require oral. That's why I say foreplay is not a suggestion. It's like a requirement. So while you're asking for oral, like, I love that you opened with that. It's like, I want every guy to know if you are with a woman, she's going to require or clitoral stimulation. Like she's just going to require it and some making out and some we don't go from 0 to 60 like men do. Like men are like friggin' frying pans. Like he sees you, he's like, oh, Violet, I'm so turned on. And women are like, we're friggin' slow cookers. Like, warm us up.
Okay, so speaking of that, I have had a question. It sounds so silly because I don't know if this actually exists, but where is my G-spot and how come none of my exes have been able to find it? Like, where is it on the treasure map?
Okay. So the G-spot is located. No, this is because people don't know. This is how it's going to help. So when you're masturbating, I think you should look for it on your own. That's what I had to do.
Okay.
And it's easier for some women. Listen, a lot of women's ability to orgasm easily has to do with anatomy. So that should come with a big relief. If your clitoris is a thumb or less, if a thumb's length or less away from your vaginal opening, okay?
Uh-huh.
Those women report that they're more likely to orgasm, okay? That's one thing. So but for the majority of women, we need clitoral stimulation. So how you find your G-spot is, it helps to have an orgasm first, a clitoral orgasm, because then everything becomes swells and engorges and the blood's like rushing to your clitoris and internally. That's where the G-spot is. So how you find it is you can like be lying on your bed, put your legs back, and essentially it is inside the vaginal opening about 1.5 inches, 2 inches inside. You could use a finger or 2 fingers or a toy. That toy I gave you, that one that could do it. 2 inches inside in like towards your belly button, in like a come hither motion. Okay. So you're in and then you'll feel like a rough spot, like a apricot pit, maybe when you're more, but I hate to I think it's more of like a G area than a G spot.
Okay.
If I could rebrand everything sexually, I would. Like, it's like not necessarily a spot. And it might even have a lot of clitoral nerves in it. But the point is, that's typically where it is for women. And so it's not all the way deep inside. It's just a matter of finding it. And I found it with a toy. Like, I didn't find it with a man or a penis. Like, I had to figure it out for myself. So then I could guide my partners.
How do you know when you're orgasming from your G-spot? Because I feel like sometimes I have felt at one point with some of my last partners that it feels good there and I feel something and then I feel like I want to pee and then I'm like, am I But then how do you move past it? Because I'm going to hold back. Like, I don't want to
Well,
pee.
that's exactly the sensation you get. So what happens is
I've had a G-spot moment. So you're saying I almost orgasmed
if you
in my
feel like
G-spot?
you're going to pee, it means if you're about to pee, you probably you're going to have a G-spot orgasm. That's a precursor.
What?
You're so close.
Okay, but I never understood how you get to past it.
You just breathe. You just don't care. What if it is pee? So what? Like, people are so uptight. He's coming on your face. Like, why not?
He's not coming on my face.
No, not you. What one man wants to? Like, his comes everywhere. But if you pee, which you won't, but that's what it feels like. That's why I say at home that I'm glad I bought you a G-spot vibe. Go home and play with it. And then you'll realize, and here's the thing, you'll know because it's more of like a full body, intensive, or it's just a little bit different. And also a lot of women have blended. So like, you might have a clitoral, like I gave you a rabbit vibrator. I think it's Cal Exotics brand, but it's like like the rabbit vibes. It's like this, yeah. It's like a clitoral and
Wait.
Clitoral. It has a like, it looks like a phallic, like this goes inside of you and then this part's on the outside of you, the little rabbit ears. Tickle your clitoris.
I think I'm still in shock that I may have had a G-spot orgasm.
Well, did it feel like, but you said you stopped it.
Yeah, so how are you able to move? I'm just saying, it's like you feel the excitement or you feel it, but then I've never gone past it because I'm holding, like I don't want to release. So how do you tell women to just like
breathe?
Honestly, relax it?
Just like relax it.
Well, what if
breathe.
you do pee on him?
Fine, like that.
Why
happens.
does it feel like you want to pee while you're having
because
sex?
It's like because you're stimulating the urethra, the same part of your body, like that. It's all close together down there. So
you literally have because I've tried.
And if you pee before sex too, I think I always pee before and dirty. Before and right after. Like you have to
avoid a UTI.
Yes. But do it before. And then you'll be like, oh, I certainly don't have to pee. So that'll give you the confidence. And then you just like let it go. Like
I would love to know what
the
actually
other thing that helps.
Like
the other thing that helps is doing your tensing and relaxing your pelvic floor muscles, your Kegel muscles. They're like those muscles that like stop and start the flow of urine. So like like if you are like, let's say you want to stop your peeing, like someone's knocking on the door and you're like, oh shit. That muscle, if you work those or you even flex them during like when you feel like you're about to come or during sex, those are the muscles that are like responsible for orgasm. So those will be more likely to help you. Like if you start tensing them but I don't want to give you too many things to do. I think just like stay in the moment.
Okay, so I guess I agree with the good practicing with yourself first. So then if you really did feel like you want to pee, then you'll find out whether or not you're about to pee. So
much better. That's how I did. I was like, I'm going to figure it. It doesn't take, it's not one time. Like you got to be patient, guys, with your sexual exploration.
Is there positions that you recommend then to do during sex in order to hit the G-spot properly?
The good news is like literally everyone's different. Woman being on top or cowgirl, however you call it, is the most common for women to orgasm that way that I know about. Because women, when you're on top, you're able to control the depth, the speed, everything, the movement. You're in charge. And so if you know your body through the homework you've done, your masturbation homework, you can kind of move in that way. So and then for women on top, it's not, here's the other thing porn does wrong. In porn, women are hopping up and down on his penis like a pogo stick. That does not feel good to most women. You want to be grinding. So you're on top. You want to be, for many women, it's the grind. So your whole, like your pubic mound, which is right above, like I should have brought my vagina.
What is a pubic mound?
So your clitoris is here, right? And like, it's like literally, it's the area right beneath your belly button, like about 2 inches and like right above your clitoris.
Fupa.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, cool. I have
it. Okay. No, not even your fupa though. Beneath your fupa. Like it's actually it's right above your clitoris. Like it's basically like your vagina, your pubic mound. It's beneath it's not your fupa.
Okay.
It's beneath there. It's like if you press on it, that's almost like indirect stimulation to your G-spot too. Like it's actually like if you took 2 fingers and you press like with the pad your finger right above your clitoris, that's like the pubic mound, right? And so for a lot of women, that area, if you're pressing on it, like during, like, that also could, like for me, like I know, and for many, it can help you orgasm as well. So like massaging that area and rubbing on it can also help orgasm because you're indirectly.
So you doing that while he's massaging your clit with his finger.
Amazing. Oh my God.
I know. I feel like I just created a porno
like you did.
in my head.
Yeah, but that's what I want you to do. I want you to create this in your head, not on the floor.
Right. Okay. Another question is, I've done research before on how to become a squirter because I'm just curious to know if it's like, I need to know, A, can anyone be a squirter?
It's like, it's a skill and you can learn it. And I know a lot of women who have taught themselves how to squirt. I don't want to say that every person can do everything.
B, is squirting, does it give you a different type of sensation, or is squirting just like something cool to do for the guy?
It's like a trick. It's another porn thing. To be honest, nobody asked me about squirting 14 years ago. Nobody.
It's not like I'm wondering.
It's not urine.
Is it a different type of orgasm?
It's okay. So for some women, yes. Some women can squirt without orgasm. Some obviously be orgasm without. Yeah, squirting is not an orgasm necessarily.
Is it pee?
There's traces of urine in it.
Yeah, because I read some research where women had their belly full with pee before they went into the place to masturbate or to do whatever. They squirted. When they left the room, half of their bladder was empty.
Yeah. Okay. Well, there are traces of it. There are, yes. And this is like this huge, and you and I want to say, who the fuck cares? Because also, if it feels good to you, so you put a blanket down. There's waterproof sheets. Like, I think that sex is messy. Sex is beautiful, but it's messy and dirty and gets sticky. And like, who cares? So yes, it might be, but I think we're all freaked out about urine and it's like, it happens. But no, typically like it's just, it comes from the periurethral gland and it's a little bit different. Fluid.
So basically, squirting doesn't give you supposedly like this extra orgasm. It's just like
for
a
some
cool
women
thing
it
to
can.
do.
Yeah, I think it's more of like a parlor trick, or like a trick. It's more like I think that, and for women it can feel great, like a release. But I don't think it's, and you can learn, sure, a lot of it's through G-spot stimulation is how it happens, but also pubic mound, pressing down in that area, and G-spot stimulation can also help because you're stimulated. But I don't know. I feel
like I don't actually care for it, because I think one of my guy friends said like every girl he dates now, he makes sure she squirts, like he does it to her. And now that I think about it, as we've been talking about like more male porn versus female porn, it does sound like it's more for the guy to feel like, oh, I just made this girl squirt.
Yeah, and you know what you should say to that? That guy be like, oh my God, I saw this really great thing in porn where this guy was going down this woman for an hour and she had 3 orgasms.
That is hotter. You're right. Like, I rather, I guess, get an orgasm than squirt.
Right? Yes. And if you squirt, bonus.
Okay, so switching, now that we focusing on the vagina, let's move the mouth towards the anus.
All right.
Okay, so how do you ease into butt play?
Very carefully.
For a boy or girl?
Yeah. I mean, butt play, it's I think you really, if you want to, so my thing is however you want to get there, I think it is important to talk about it first. Like if you want to have anal sex, you don't just like you got to prepare for anal. And the reason why a lot of women don't like anal, because they've had a really bad, and it's not for everybody either. Nothing is for everybody. But a lot of women have had a really bad first time anal experience. Like they're drunk in college and a guy sticks it in, or like a wrong hole and there's no lube and it's like a disaster. Because the secret to great anal is going really slow, starting like using a lot of lube, more lube, like vats of lube. Like you start, the anus doesn't lubricate at all. So dry anal is like a recipe for, it's painful. You could have anal tearing. Like you have to use lube, and silicone lube is best. But if you,
is that the lube you gave me?
Yeah.
Dope.
Right, dude? You're going to love that lube. You're going to be like, oh, so start with like a finger first, or no, back up. Use a little bit of lube and then start touching just like the nerve endings outside the anus. There's like so many.
To ease the butt.
To ease it, to relax it, massage the butt cheeks, like get your partner like in it and relax. And the most important thing is to breathe, to already be turned on, helps to already have like an orgasm first.
Does your asshole get wet?
No, it doesn't lubricate at all.
Oh, okay, cool.
So that's why you need the lube. It won't.
So if it feels wet, it's like you're about to have diarrhea.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
it won't get wet.
Back
Yeah.
Okay,
And
cool.
you're like,
Now
you
you
didn't
know.
use lube. Shit. I gotta go to the bathroom. So yeah, no, you have to use lube and like breathe. Like and then if you get to the point of like, yeah, you could try with a finger, then you do that, and then try with a finger. Like clean hands, trim nails. If your nails aren't trimmed, like use a condom over it or a dental dam. Like you just have to be careful because it's so sensitive. Then like all the endings and the nerve endings and the tissue. The tissue.
I think what's scariest, I think for people that try anal for the first time, because I've tried anal before with my boyfriends, with like my first and second boyfriend, is that the first time when you try it, no one tells you is that it feels like you're
gonna go back.
pooping.
Yeah.
Because when it comes out, it feels like you're releasing. And that's the scariest ththing because right away you're like, oh my God, did I just go number 2? So I think that's number 1. That's the scariest for people who try anal aside from something going up their ass. But I need to know because I know for men, they have like a pleasure. The prostate.
It feels all men. Yes. I always encourage men like explore. Like people think straight men are like, oh, I'm not gay. I'm like, yeah, but you have a freaking prostate and it doesn't make you, it's no sex act makes you gay. Like that could give you an incredible orgasm. For many men, it does.
Can women come from their butthole?
Yeah, absolutely. And not all women do again, but what happens is when you do stimulate the anus, the butt, if you put the penis inside, there's a thin membrane between the vaginal wall and the anus. So that will be hitting up against the G-spot. Like,
oh, so you're orgasming because it's the G-spot, it's still not in your
but it can also be the butt can feel great and have nerve endings as well. But typically for women, it has to do with that penetration of the internal, like the indirect stimulation.
Are you into anal?
I'm not as much into anal. I've had anal. I am not as into it. I don't not like it, but it's not like my favorite thing.
Why?
Honestly, like my last few partners I've been with, I'm trying to think, they weren't as into it. And I've just never, I didn't have a bad experience, but like I'm so into everything else, like all of my like clitoris and my G-spot and like dirt, like BDSM, like a little bit of like spanking and all that. Like I'm just not as into it. Now, maybe I could, if I'm with someone again and they're like into it, like I would do it. I know how to, but I'm not, it's not like my top list thing. But there's so many women that I know that are like, oh yeah, I have to have anal every time. Are you into anal?
No, but I still haven't had sex since like December, but I don't even remember the last time I had anal, to be honest. I think it was more for my boyfriend.
Yeah.
But now as I've matured more into a woman and we're talking about like me orgasming, all that, I would be down to try anal, but also I would be down to figure out how I can enjoy it now.
Yeah,
versus
exactly.
Like them
it's
just
not about
fucking me in the ass.
Right. See, this is the thing.
To turn them on.
Right. So how you would enjoy it is, you would make sure you have an orgasm, clitoral orgasm first. He could also continue to massage your clitoris. You can. And you just want to make sure that you breathe. Like literally what happens is, think about it. Something comes near your butt and we tense, right? So then nothing can get in. So you just kind of have to breathe. So when then they're inserting, you like, if there's like a in, out, like he goes in a little bit more and then you exhale and then you inhale when he's going in. It's just like a hole.
I did some research about
anal. I like butt plugs. That's, anyway.
Oh, no, I'm thinking about it because I'm like, I've seen it in pornos, but I'm not going to bring it up because I watch only male porn.
No, honey, it's fine. I think this is so helpful. I love that you're bringing this up. It's fine. And it might be, yeah.
So, but butt plugs, I don't understand how they stay in because I've seen like in porno, the butt plug just stays in and then they keep having sex. And it's like, is she just like holding in, making sure not to push?
Because it expands or it has like has little ridges on it. Yeah. It's not like a little thing. Like it's a little bit. And the anus is not that stretchable. So you put it in, it's like, it's snug.
Yeah.
It'll stay in. And it's also important. The other big question I have about anal is that people are always like, how do I
not poop?
Not poop, thank you. And it's like, you don't need to fucking douche. You don't need to get an enema. I mean, if you insist on it, then you can buy an enema from the store, but drain out all the vinegar and put in hot water. But if you know you're natural,
don't do an enema right before you have anal because there's like residue or stuff after you do the enema.
Exactly,
so it would definitely go on the guy's penis.
But like, it's like you want to make sure that you are we know our natural cycle. Like, if you like went out for a big dinner, that's probably not the night to have anal.
Or when you're in your period.
Yes, no. And I hate that when guys are like, well, one hole is closed, the other one's open. You're like,
don't have anal in your period.
No.
Please, please, please believe me when I tell you don't have anal in your period. Any woman out there that's listening, trust me.
Painful.
No, it's not just that. It's your number 2 is different when you're in your period.
Yeah, everything's different.
So don't do it, please.
I mean, I even think like oral can be okay in your period. Not the first day.
Oh.
But like, we're talking about external clitoral stimulation. It has nothing to do with the blood. You could have a tampon in. I know that sounds whatever, but you take a shower, you put a tampon in, it's like the 3rd day of your period. Like, no sex, babe, but just go down on me. Do you see my trend here, my theme?
No, I love, like, I feel like what your trend is here, because I think because I watch in a way I literally didn't realize any of this until our conversations, that I watch more male driven porn, and I care too much about, I focus so much with my sexual partners about satisfying the man and less satisfying me. And I've noticed when you talk about things, it does revolve more around satisfying the woman.
Yeah. Because but you're not alone. See, that's how most because that's how society that's how we've learned about sex. Yeah. It's through men. So that's very common. So I'm glad you see that. And that's what I want. I want women and men. I mean, I freaking live for men. It's just more like women. I want women to kind of stand up for their own pleasure and to know this. And once they do know all this, so I love that thank you for having me on, because it's such a good service for people, like to know, like, yeah, like, I deserve pleasure, and maybe that porn isn't as great for me, and I should find what actually turns me on. Yeah. So this is your journey. Like, what actually fucking makes me like wet? Like, what do I fantasize about? Like, it's okay to talk about it to a partner, and that's the partner you want to be with. It's like, I want to please you.
I just think it seems, as I'm thinking about it seems like maybe there's a miscommunication during sex with the two partners, because men really do just want to pleasure the woman, even as you're talking about it, like all they want is to pleasure us. We're thinking the women, we're sitting there, we're like trying to be all porny. Yep. So then we're doing all the extra like screams and so he thinking you're satisfied with just vaginal intercourse, versus us just speaking up and being like, actually, I'm not coming from this.
Right.
I'm just trying to turn you on. And he's like, but I thought I was turning you on.
Exactly. We all want this. This is what I always say. I think we all want the same thing. Like, your partner wants to please you. They're not like, I'm just going to go in there. Maybe there's someone who's like, I'm just going to get mine and leave. But someone you're in a relationship with, but yet we're not talking about it. So going back to my whole premise of my entire show, my entire life is like, I just want the whole world to talk about it, so we don't have this miscommunication in the bedroom. And then women fake orgasms, which is like the worst, and we've all done it. But like,
how do you fake an orgasm?
Oh, you've never done it?
No, I'm insanely honest.
I love that about you. Well, you're just like, because like Harry Met Sally. People fake them all the time because we want it over with. We don't think it's going to happen.
Oh, I'll just say, baby, please come.
Right.
So that's like me.
But I'm glad you haven't faked it. But all this stuff is a disservice to men. So by us not speaking up or mimicking the women we see in porn, and I've even had guys say to me, like, I have guy friends, maybe it was like a few years ago, that were like in their late 30s and they were dating women in their 20s, and they were like, early 20s. They're like, oh yeah, they're acting like porn stars. Like, it doesn't seem like it's really real. Like, they're doing what they think they should be doing. Yeah. Because that's how they're learning about sex.
So true.
So if I could just like change that.
I feel like you meet so many guys and they're like, yeah, every girl I've been with has come.
Right.
And you're like, what?
Every guy says that. And it's not true. Right. Exactly. I'm like, what? And then you talk to every woman except for you. And most women have faked it. So I love that, pretty much, maybe at least once. They're like, oh, I'm just going to pretend. So yeah. And then every guy goes around thinking, of course they all came, because we never talked about it and she faked it. Or the other thing is, maybe she didn't even fake it, but our sex education is so abysmal that maybe they just assumed, like, you have to remember, guys are focused on what they have. Like, we're focused on, they're like, it must feel good because it feels good to me. So if I orgasmed and you didn't say anything and we're hugging and kissing, I'm sure everything's fine. So they'll just assume you had an orgasm.
Yeah. Like, I feel like the last partner I was with, we hooked up, and then when we finished, and then you just like, the sex was so good, right? Blah, blah. Did you come? And I was like, I think if I came, you would know.
Right.
Like, got so annoyed because I'm like, I can't believe I'm here. Yeah. I just like, not only did I just get a irritation on my lip, like I'm getting an allergic reaction, I also didn't come.
Right. They don't know though.
Did you come? It's like, you will fucking know if I came.
Exactly. Guys, don't ask that. Don't ask. You should know. You will know, but they don't know.
Do you have any tips when it comes to couples that have been together for a long time and they want to spice up their relationship, or it seems like one of them is not sexually adventurous, or they suddenly don't want to have sex as much? Do you have any tips for that?
Yes, I do. I have so many tips for that. I mean, the first thing is going to be to talk about it. Like, literally, okay, I know our sex life hasn't been as exciting lately. Like, what can we do together to figure out, like, to talk about what can we do together to figure out what would be exciting for both of us? Because let me tell you this, what happens in every relationship is there's a period called the honeymoon phase. And that's like actually a biological phase. It's like 6 months to 2 years, where it's enough time to have a baby, enough time for the man, like we're talking like our primates, our ancestors, to then go off and have other babies. So it's like that period, when we're falling in love and everything feels great and lustful, and then the sex life is going to change. We're not going to be as hot for our partners in the beginning. So in every relationship, just like prepare for it. If you're in the honeymoon phase now, this is going to happen to you. So when you get there, and I want couples to talk about sex like literally like the first time they have sex, but you could just say, hey, like, have there been some things, like, let's explore things that we could do together, because the things that those couples crave is everything they had in the beginning. They crave the newness, the spontaneity, the novelty, trying something new. So honestly, like some of my tips are like, go shopping to a sex toy store together. I always say like, watch porn together, but porn that you both find hot, like Erica Lust. I don't recommend a lot of it, but for couples who are healthy and secure, like, yeah, find a scene you like and find a scene that you also like, or do your research. I mean, honestly, I have this thing on my website called the yes, no, maybe list. And what you can do is, and this helps a lot of couples, because it's just sometimes they know they want something different and they know they want to spice it up, but they don't know how. So this is like 100 suggestions on it. It's like anal, yes, no, maybe. Role play, yes, no, maybe. Toys, yes, no, maybe. And then you're like, okay, where are our yeses? Well, we've never done that. I didn't know you. Oh, cool. Let's try that. So it's really about trying something new. It could be as easy as like talking dirty, using a toy, vacation sex, talk about novelty, get out of your bedroom. When we have sex in the same place night after night, we're like staring at the ceiling, it's like the same dirty laundry in the corner, like that's not hot either. So it's like mixing up your routine and like deciding that you're both gonna, work on it together. It's not like, and I could tell you, yes, surprise your partner when you come home, when you have sexy lingerie, and that all works too, but it's like, or he could bring you something. But I think the most important thing for long-term couples to be like, let's get on the same page that we're committed for life, or for as long as we would like, if we think we're going to be together. And let's become great lovers for each other. Now, I don't know what that is, and you might not know, but let's go on a journey to figure out what that means. You could also do a bucket list where you each write down 3 things you been wanting to try, and you swap lists. Like you could do that at dinner one night. Like things that you actually want to try. And they're like, okay, I didn't know you wanted that. I do too. Let's go have sex in the car.
Do you have any sex toys that you recommend for couples?
I do. I think the best sex toy I think that is a couple that has like dual stimulation for both. So like a penis ring. I love the We Vibe Pivot. It's like a cock ring, and you wear it over your over the penis, and it vibrates.
Wait, I want to write this down.
I know. I'm gonna like send it to you. I wish I brought you.
Will you email me some of these?
Of course,
Okay,
yeah.
cool.
My sister, she makes everything happen. So okay, the We Vibe Pivot is a great one because he wears it. This will be so great for you because he wears it. Vibrations feel good to men too, by the way. And then it's like stimulating your clitoris at the same time because there's a vibrator on it. It's a vibrator. It's also controlled by this We Connect app. And then here's another one. Oh no, that's not a great couples one, but I'll tell you about this in a minute. But there's this We Vibe. I love We Vibe toys because they all come, most of them now, you can control it with your phone. So like literally your partner could be across the country, across the world, and you could be wearing a vibrator and you can launch their We Connect app, and it's like FaceTime if you want to use the video part. And he could be like controlling it, like your vibrator on you. And it's like really hot. So I think a cock ring, there's something called the Hot Octopus Duo. And it's like a masturbation sleeve for the man, but on the outside of it, so it's like a cup, like a sleeve that goes around his penis. It's a toy, but then you can like grind on top of it because there's a vibrator on the outside. And then inside of it is this little oscillation button that goes around his frenulum. So his penis, the penis goes in and out. And then there's this little that's a good one. Cock rings. The We Vibe makes a couple's toy that is actually one that you could wear during sex. It's like a C. So you wear it. You've seen that. And it goes inside. And that worked. I would only get the 4+ or the We Vibe Plus, I think it's called. The Sync. Because they've had like 16 versions of it. But the Sync is the best because you can actually make it fit. Like you can actually make it stay in your body.
I read that vibrator was for guys that have a smaller penis, and it's a way to help the sex.
It can be like if you're having problems with your penis being too big, which by the way, I get more emails about that and callers about
my penis is too big.
Yeah, it hurts my girlfriend. What do I do? Or from women.
I think they watch too much sex. I'm like, oh, babe, it's so big, right. It hurts, and it's like average or small.
Right. No, but it can't hurt women. So no, it's too too big. Like they can't get all the way down. So
have those guys call me.
Exactly. You'll find them. Girl. The Sync is not just for that. I mean, yes, I guess if your penis is really small and it's slipping out, sure. But this is more like you're going to get clitoral stimulation because it's like cupping. This part's going on your G-spot. This is going on your clitoris. And it's like then his penis goes here. I wish I had I should have brought my vagina puppets.
That's
my
so
penis
hot.
puppets.
Damn, I haven't had sex in so long.
I know, right?
Like, should I call my ex again? Like, after I leave, like, someone tell my ex to
Go home and
block me
masturbate.
so I can go have sex with my ex. I do have another question that I think is so important, and I really want to bring this up. But as usual, it has to do more with the guy, and I feel like an asshole for talking more about the guy. But I want to remove a stigma with you about a lot of women. I feel like get scared when it comes to uncircumcised penises. And I wanted to remove the stigma because I actually read that there are a lot of benefits to having unprotected sex with a guy that's uncircumcised. It's more pleasurable. It feels really good. It's a slip and slide. So it's like you don't even need that much spit. What is your take on a circumcised versus uncircumcised penis?
Honestly, I think anything goes. I mean, most of the world is uncircumcised.
What?
More penises are uncircumcised not in the United States, but in most places on the planet. Like if you look at men overall. So I think that there are more nerve endings. There are more. I mean, the only thing about that is we've talked about this in my office too. Like we've done our polls. Like I think some women are like, yes, I can definitely feel it. Some women are like, to me, like I've been with circumcised, uncircumcised. I'm like, it's all great. So, but for some women who have more sensitivity, they can maybe feel a little bit more, but I don't think it's superior in any way. And the thing about unprotected sex with a uncircumcised is you have to be careful about is that they have to be clean. You have to make sure that they are clean because the problem with the uncircumcised, there's something called smegma. That's actually where it comes from, the name, right? Is when it can collect bacteria, it can collect. It can get dirtier because there's a foreskin. So you have to make sure that but
everyone cleans it. Like I feel like that's what girls get scared of now. But it's like we've evolved. Like the guy's probably going to take a shower before he has sex with you, most likely, I guess, or clean it before.
Yeah. So then otherwise, but then that would be okay if you're on protection. But also, I get it that people are not using condoms enough, but you can still get an STD.
Hell yeah. I mean, I'm just kidding. Use protection.
Yeah. Skin condoms are the best condoms I've ever used because they're non-latex and they're
use condoms?
Yeah. You don't believe me.
No.
I don't love using condoms. If I'm with someone for the first time, like it's rando, yes, I'll use a condom. I know no one uses them, but you'll just get herpes for life or pregnant. No one does.
I'm down with getting pregnant, but not herpes.
Right. Well, you got to choose. I mean, I know no one uses them.
The guy that I was just telling you about before we started the episode, like he's uncircumcised and like I like it. Like right now I find it really hot. Like I prefer uncircumcised penises, but like 2 years ago I made fun of it.
Right, exactly, dude, because we don't know it. So everyone is afraid. Here's the thing about sex. If there is something that you're grossed out by about sex or you don't think it like lubes or toys or uncircumcised penis, it's because you have fear around it. It's unknown. But then once you do it, try lube, try toys, circumcised, you're like, fine. Yeah. So I think that a lot of people think that's because they don't know it. They're like, that's so weird, but it's just so
it looks the same when it's hard.
Yeah, when it's hard, it's exactly the same. And when it's not like you're like scary. An alien. It's not that scary though when it's not.
No, it's not scary.
No. Did you think it's scary?
It's a little scary. But when it's hard, it looks good. And also like I love giving head to uncircumcised penis because it just like I said, it's its own lube. And it's just like, it turns me on more because they have so much sensitivity there.
Yeah, there is, because when they're chopping off the nerve endings during circumcision. So yeah, I think now we're turning in the States and parents are less likely.
I read research that uncircumcision is going up again. The rate is going up again.
Good. That's what I hear. I'm glad.
Yeah.
I think I feel like we should not cut.
For
religious reasons, I get it. Like Jewish, like I grew up like, you have a bris, so we come over, your big open locks, and you cut off the penis. But like, a lot of religions do that.
Okay, so now let's talk about emotions. When it comes to sex, I mean, I know we're talking about more like fucking and all that, but I was wondering when it comes to sex is a lot of times women, I think, make the mistake of confusing sex with intimacy. And I feel like I've done that before in the past. How do men view sex versus women view sex? Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, I do.
Isn't there hormones that women release after they have sex?
Yes, oxytocin, which is like the cuddle hormone. And after we've orgasm, we feel more attached to the partners. And that's why people are like, there's some friends I have, women call, they're like, I can't just randomly sleep around because I will be attached. And I will think that that's my husband, my future husband. Yeah, but it's also, so that happens. But I think that a lot of what we've learned about sex is wrong. In fact, there's a book called, a lot of what we learned is untrue. There's a book called A Lot of What We Learned is Untrue by Wednesday Martin. But it's like, Men get emotional too. Men get attached. Men get attached after orgasm. Not at the same rate, but it's not this like polar opposite. Like women are like, we have to have babies and get married, and men are like, peace, you know? It's just not like that. But yeah, there's definitely some like connection that we feel that, you know, if you're a woman who does feel like that right away, like maybe, you know, casual sex isn't great for you, but also don't mistake it. Because here's the thing. Yes, it's hormones, but it doesn't mean that you can't use all your other faculties to realize that it's hormones and be like, oh, maybe I don't really love this guy. Maybe I just had a great orgasm and the sex was good, but do I really like all these other things about him? But the problem is when we have sex too quickly sometimes, or great sex, is that we get attached and then we can't see like the red flags like waving in the distance, like he's an asshole, you know, and then you're like, but the sex was so good. So I think just the more we know about all of this, the more we could decide like, oh, right, step back. Sex is great. Don't really want to bring him home to mom.
Because some girl wrote, she wrote, why do guys become less interested in me after we finally hook up, even if I wait? Or, I mean, I guess.
No, I hear that all. I mean, it's like, how old is she? I always ask my listeners how old they are because, like, I think there's some things like we love to draw conclusions. Like, maybe 2 guys did it in her life over the last 4 years. I don't think that every guy's like, peace out. But I do think, like, younger guys, if you're in your early 20s, high school, you're all about hormones. Your hormones are raging. You will put your dick in anything. Some guy put their dick in a pipe last week, some metal pipe, and they had to go to the hospital to get it out. Like, they want to hump. They want to have sex. Maybe he's not looking for a relationship. Like maybe
so she's just going for unavailable guys.
She's going for unavailable guys. We all have patterns. So if let's just say, okay, let's say
what if we were like, your vagina sucks,
right? But it's like, not that. Like we think the worst. And the problem with this, when we get rejected, all we think about is like, I'm horrible. I am broken in some way, and I will never be repaired. But also, yeah, if you let's say for her, let's just say to her to give her some like creed here. Let's say the last 7 guys she dated, she had sex with them once and they ghosted. Okay, let's just say. Well, then I would say, if that were true, I would say, take a step back from dating and look at the common denominator. You are the common denominator. So maybe
your
there's
vagina sucks.
Not your vagina.
Oh, sorry. I'm kidding.
No, but like the kind of guys you're dating. Like, did you ask them ahead of time? Like, do they want something? Like, were they already dating 3 other women? Did you just meet them that night? Like, what was it about them? Because typically we have a pattern that gets ingrained from like our youth, our daddy, like, right? Issues, families, whatever. Like how our parents treat us, our moms, our dads. And so what feels comfortable to us and what we're attracted to can actually be replicating an unhealthy pattern from childhood. And then you go into therapy, which we all need.
I actually have therapy after this. I'm not kidding.
I love it.
Seriously.
I had yesterday.
I love therapy. I think
never done. Yeah.
Okay, so what about you? Have you ever heard of the term called "quote unquote" whiskey dick?
Yes.
So I was watching some YouTube video how this woman was trying to say like soft penis. She was encouraging soft penises. I think she was just trying to be like a team player. And she's like, soft penises can be great. You just like love and caress it, you know, trying to make guys feel better. A, is there a way to help with the soft dick? And also B, do you have any tricks to help a guy not come too fast?
Oh, wow. Those are all, yeah. Okay. So, whiskey dick, I mean, what I think about that is like you're drinking too much and you drink a lot and your dick just can't stay hard. You can't do anything with that. Like if that's why you're not hard, like just go to sleep or have some pizza. Like you drank too much, you did too many drugs, whatever. And so that could be a problem. But otherwise, like, yeah, soft penis. I mean, honestly, if a guy isn't turned on, which is rare, you probably haven't seen a guy
Not me.
No, but when you get older, sure. Okay, so yeah, right, exactly. Like every dick is hard. I remember saying to my boyfriend once, I was like,
everyone gets hard around me.
I was like, I've never seen a flaccid penis. And he's like, really? I'm like, well, no, by the time they get to me, like they're ready to go. But there are guys who have like erectile dysfunction. But let's talk about PE for a minute. Oh, wait, but like, yeah, soft penis, if they're not hard, yeah, like take it in your mouth for a second, it'll get hard. I mean, so.
Okay, so whiskey dick, nothing you can do. You drank too much, try again in the morning. Or, you know, like, or I know, focus on the woman, give her
go down on her.
Help her.
Just like,
yeah.
Thank you, honey.
That.
You're
learning.
You're learning so much.
Okay, now what about tricks for a guy to not come too fast?
So the great news about that is that typically it's mental. So you know how you had your early blowjob experience? For guys who come too quickly, typically like maybe their mom walked in on him once, or like a lot of guys have to finish quickly because they're at home and they're afraid their parents are going to walk in. Or maybe it happened the first time he had sex because it could have been the first time. And he got so excited, he came too quickly. And then every time he has sex, he's like, oh shit, I'm going to come. And then he comes too quickly. So there's actually a few things that guys can do. It's a practice, but like they have to do it during masturbation, just like we have to all look for our G-spots. Many women it's called edging. And women can do this as well, but for men, it's like you masturbate until the point where you're about to go over, about to ejaculate, and then you slow it down. And the whole point of that is you're learning ejaculatory control. It's like you're exercising those muscles so you can kind of figure out when you're about to come. That's like, and it's a process that you have to do, and you have to do a few times for a few weeks, and you'll realize that when you're having sex, you'll learn how to like breathe when you're about to come. Also, men can do their Kegel exercises just like women. Kegel exercise, I have an iPhone app called Kegel Camp that it reminds you 2 times a day to do them because we never remember. But for men, they can have control, and women have stronger orgasms. Like literally you are strengthening the muscles that are responsible for orgasm. So when men have stronger like muscles, they can do that down there too. The other thing is there is one treatment that I like. It's called Promescent. And it's like this, it's a quickly absorbing delay spray that you put on like 30 minutes before sex, and men last like 70% longer. It's like a slightly like numbing though. Like,
what about thinking about like your grandma or something?
Yeah, think about your crazy aunt with the furry mustache or something. That can help too. But I think that actually that takes you out of your body, so you're disassociated. So like if you're thinking about it so it doesn't happen, then you're looking up at him, his eyes are closed and he's not as connected. But for guys who have PE, like it does. And again, on my website, I have tons of information on this, premature ejaculation. I have 14 years worth of blogs, and I just released an episode with it's with this guy, Jeff Abraham, and it's all about this. It's all about like how guys cannot come too quickly. There's a few different things, but most of them is really them taking the matters into their own hands.
Yeah, but also really quick, I want to let any guy out there listening, since we have to wrap it up, is that also women don't want you to go for too long. Like the whole porn thing of going for 40 minutes. No, thank you. Now is like full on slip and slide. We're sweating. It smells in the room. Like I just want to go to sleep.
We don't want exactly. Most women don't want it. And the other thing is, if you do come too quickly, what should you do?
Go down on her. But and then also you'll be ready to go again.
Yeah, you'll be, if you take here's what's happening. Men are premature because like, is it going to happen? I hope it doesn't happen. It's going to happen. Yeah. Boom, happens.
Girls don't even care if a guy comes too quickly.
No, we're like, thank God, fine, next. But come, right? We're like, great, we can go to dinner now. But then go down on her. And then it comes back, because when you really, truly get into pleasing a woman and you're like into it and you're going down, you're like, your pussy's hot, your penis will come back.
I agree.
And then she's having pleasure. And that's amazing sexual experience. But just don't trip on it. Guys get so concerned that we're freaking out when they come too quickly, and we're not.
Yeah, girls don't care.
Every time.
I agree.
Right.
Okay, so obviously we have to wrap this up, but this episode was so much fun, and you have to come back.
I will. It was so fun.
You taught me so much. I felt like I already knew from research, not personal experience, because I haven't done that recently, but just a lot of research. But you taught me a lot. I cannot wait for the next guy that says hello to me to go down on me.
Yeah,
I'm excited for
I know, right? I'm excited too. Thank you for having me. You're gonna come on my podcast.
Oh yeah, I would love to come on your podcast. So really quick, again, where can we find you?
It's sexwithemily.com is my website, and my podcast is Sex with Emily, wherever you find podcasts, and all social media. It's at Sex with Emily. Everywhere.
At Sex with Emily?
Yeah, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook.
Okay, amazing. Is there last thing you want to add that I missed?
The last thing I want to add is, if anyone has questions, which they probably will, they can email me, feedback@sexwithemily. They can also call into my show, which is 5 nights a week. It's all on my site. What do I want to add? I just want to add, life is too short for bad sex. So figure it out now. You can change whatever situation you're in and have incredible connected sex, even if it's with yourself.
I agree. I think the scariest part with partners is to have the conversation. But I agree. That seems like that was the solution.
Literally, that's
for
the hardest
of the things.
Everything is talking about it. That's really what I say most of the days. Here's how you talk. Here's what you do. So.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
And you'll come back again.
Done.
You guys, thank you so much for listening to another episode of Too Tired to Be Crazy with me, Viola Benson. You can find me on Instagram, and also you'll see this on YouTube. I think it'll be on Viola Benson. And thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you next Thursday. Bye, guys. Love you.